So what are we making today on the channel? We're going to be doing a white loaf. This is a traditional loaf without any bread improvers. So we'll get straight on with the recipe. In the bowl here, this is strong white flour. This is 900 grams. Now this flour is actually a mixture between Canadian flour and shipped to mill number 1. We've got 18 grams of salt, 9 grams of sugar and 18 grams of fat. Into this bowl, we've got 600 milliliters of water. And in that, I've got 28 grams of yeast. So all you need to do is just put your dry ingredients all in the bowl like this. And then all we've done is whisked up the yeast. Now that is actually fresh yeast in there. So if I didn't mention it beforehand, you can use dried yeast, but do make sure you've dissolved it all in properly. So we'll get straight on with the mixing. So in goes our liquid. And in goes our dry ingredients. So if you've got a slower machine, then you'll most likely have to mix it for a bit longer. But on this particular machine, first speed, check it first. And that's the same as if you're using a 3-speed machine. This machine is a single speed machine, so it's continuously the same speed all the way through. Well, that's 1 minute. And I'm also sensing that needs a little bit more flour in it. 2 spoonfuls be plenty. So we'll continue to mix this for 5 minutes. Now, if you've got a 3-speed machine, first you start off by mixing on first speed just to make sure everything's mixed in. Then we mix on 2nd speed for 5 minutes. Then we check the dough. Then we give it another 5 minutes on 2nd speed. Right, that's 5 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll carry on mixing that for another 5 minutes. Dough's ready. Just spray around the machine bowl with some oil. Just helps for it to come out easier. Just mould it into a bit of a ball and that'll be fine. And now we'll put it into a proving bowl. All we need to do with this now is prove this up so it's doubled its size. We'll take this out of the bowl now. And we're going to split this into 2. Yeah, so each of these are just roughly around about 800 grams. So just gently mould them up. And just leave them there. They just want to recover now. And then we'll mould them up, put them in the tins. In the meantime, what we'll do, we'll grease up our tins. Ready. Just cover these over. And that'll be fine. Well, that's just ready. All we need to do is flatten it out. Get rid of all the oxygen. Fold them over. Knock them down again. And then all we need to do is roll them up. Like that. Do make sure that seam is on the bottom. And that's it, just push them down a little bit. We'll put them straight into our prover. They are going to take, I would have thought, at least 50 to an hour to prove up and prove up to around about this amount. The best idea, we'll look at these in around about 20 minutes time. At that time, you can get your oven on. And your oven temperature wants to be around about 210 to 220 Celsius. And that's a fan assisted. So our bread's ready. We're now looking at around about 41 minutes. And there we are. Just up to the top of the tin. These don't have any bread improver. And they just took a little bit longer than the ones with improver. So I'm going to slice the top. And we're going to be baking these in the oven for around about 25 to 35 minutes. Well, folks, the bread's ready. We'll go and get it out of the oven. Well, there's your bread straight from the oven. I've actually let this cool down for, it's got to be a good 12 hours now. So it's really, really cold. Just to see this as it is, this hasn't got any bread improver in it. So in comparison to the one with improver in it, there may be a little bit of difference. It smells absolutely beautiful. I suppose let's get and cut her open. We'll go straight down the middle. And that looks a lovely breadcrumb in there. That looks lovely. Now I'm looking at the holes in it, and they're not that close together really. In fact, looking at the tin itself, it could have been left in the prover a little bit longer because it's pulled up at the edge here. But that smells absolutely lovely. There's no doubt about it. And bear this in mind, there's no additive in this. The question is it the flour or the machine that's actually done the work to give us bread like this? Well, actually both. A good mix, and also in this bread, it's 50% Canadian flour, which would have given you a lift anyway. Now, if this was rubbishy flour, we wouldn't get such a lift like this. Well, there you go, folks. That looks a lovely loaf of bread. There's no doubt about it. And even using one of these tins I got from Sainsbury's, it's got a nice lift on it. And once again, the tin only cost £2, but I'm really happy with the results. Now, I dare to say there's people out there who will turn around and say, oh, well, I got wings on my bread. Well, I got no wings on my bread, but there again, that can be down to a lot of things. Now, in the bakery, there's lots of reasons why our bread might not come out well. It could be anything from flour, coldness, the yeast, the sugars, even one of those things called improver. I mean, that can vary because certain improvers do certain jobs. But there you go, folks. If you like this type of content, please subscribe and please share. And don't forget to check out the description because you'll find a recipe down there for you. And also lots and lots of playlists. And we'll see you again very shortly on the Crazy Baker channel. Laters!